Hello and welcome back to another nail video. Today we're taking it back to the basics. You guys are going to be watching me practice my liquid to powder ratio. I am a beginner nail tech and I still struggle with the liquid to powder ratio. So I figured today would be a perfect day to practice. And I do know a lot of beginner nail techs do kind of like struggle with this same process. I mean, it takes practice after practice after practice. And so today you all are going to watch me practice. So first I'm going to be using the Pana size 12 Kolinsky brush. And I'm going to first dip my brush into my monomer, and I'm just going to get rid of all of those air bubbles. And I am going to go ahead and wipe my brush off. I do prefer a flat brush. For me, that's just what works best. And so yeah, I know a lot of people prefer oval brushes, but I can never get with it. It's the flat brush for me. And so my first bead is going to be a large bead. So I am going to dip my brush. Since this is a size 12 and it is a large brush, I'm just going to dip it halfway in. And then I am going to wipe the side. And then I'm going to flip my brush over on the side that I just wiped. And I am going to try to go at a low angle and drag my brush across the powder. And here is my bead. It is a rather big bead. I'm trying to wait a couple seconds to let it settle before I go ahead and place that bead down. Okay, not bad. It is not running, so that's good. I struggle sometimes with the bead running a little bit. So that looks pretty good. And then I always make sure that I go ahead and shake my powder so that it's as flat as it could be for my next bead. And so I'm going to do the same thing. I am dipping my brush just a tip into the liquid, and then I am wiping the side, flipping the side over to the side that I just wiped. I'm going down on a low angle and I am dragging it across the powder, picking it up, letting it settle for a little bit. Okay, as you can see now, it's becoming nice and buttery, which is what we want to see. And I am going to go ahead and place that in the center of the circle. Okay, again, I'm wiping my brush off. I don't want any of that excess acrylic to stick to my brush, so I'm going ahead and wiping that off. It's a good bead. It did not run. However, I do want to make it a little bigger so that it fills the circle a little more. Again, I'm going to reset my powder. Dip my brush in halfway, not even halfway. Wipe the side of the brush, go in at a low angle and drag. Wait a couple seconds for it to form, for it to set. And then I am placing that bead down in the center. That does look a lot better. It's glossy, it's not running. It's a buttery texture, which is what you want to see. And so not bad. I actually find that when I repeat the steps over and over, it kind of helps me remember a little better. So that's why you'll hear me constantly saying the same thing over and over in this video. I'm dipping the brush in just a tad bit because again, this is a size 12, which is kind of large. I am wiping the side and then I am going in on the side that I just wiped at a low angle because I want a large bead, and I am dragging it across the powder, picking it up, letting it settle for a few seconds. As you can see, it getting all nice and buttery. Yes, that's what I want to see. And I am placing that bead down in the center. That looks good. That looks like a good bead. Okay, girl, getting better, getting better. And it's not running. So, improvement. Definitely an improvement. Okay, again, I am dipping in just a tad bit, wiping the side away from me, and then with the dry side, dragging it across the powder towards me, picking it up. This one is a little dry, but let's wait and see for it to settle. Okay, it has a buttery like texture, so I'm gonna go ahead and place that bead down in the center. And yes, it does not look that bad. Okay. And I am gonna constantly wipe my brush because I don't want acrylic lumps and clumps in my brush. And so this is how I'm going to avoid that. Resetting my powder. Okay, dipping a little bit in, wiping the side away from me, turning my brush on, using the side that I just wiped. I am going at a low angle and I am dragging across the middle of the powder. I am picking it up, letting it settle for a few seconds until it becomes a buttery texture. That looks good. And then I am placing that in the center of the circle. Okay, not bad. It could have been a little bigger so that more of the acrylic fits the circle, but this is practice and it's getting better each time. So I'm gonna continue. Again, I dip in, I wipe the side, and then with the side that I just wiped, do that one again. I'm going to dip in, wipe the side, and then with the side that I just wiped, I'm gonna go at a low angle across the center of the powder, pick it up, give it a few seconds to become a buttery like texture. Yes, this is what we want to see here. I am placing it in the center of the circle. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Again, dipping my brush in the liquid, wiping the side, and then with the side that I just wiped, I am gonna go in the powder at a very, very low angle, drag it across, hold for a few seconds for that powder to get buttery. Looks good. And I am placing this in the center. All right, that looks like a good row of large beads.